And the president is going to head to Waco, as we mentioned, after today's dedication of the George W. Bush Presidential Library and Museum in Dallas.
All 5 living presidents will come together for today's dedication. The library and museum is on the campus of SMU in Dallas, and our Leslie Rohde is there live this morning with a preview. Hi, Leslie.
5 or 6 p.m. show.
Hello to both of you. Yes, this is a huge event. The setup is ready. You can see here behind me on the campus of Southern Methodist University in Dallas, all these chairs for the expected some 10,000 people that will be here for this dedication. It's an invitation-only event. Now, we had a chance yesterday to get a brief tour of the Presidential Museum. We were able to take some photos in there, and after that, I talked with former counselor to President Bush, Karen Hughes. Of course, she still lives in Austin, and she worked for President Bush even before he ran for governor. And she shared with us some of her favorite parts of this museum.
I think they really did a good job of capturing the shock and the horror of September 11th in the same way that it sort of hit us that morning. As I walk through, I get a sense of it was not just a presidency that happened years ago. Many of the policies he put in place have an ongoing and positive impact on people's lives.
What's a highlight for you here, Karen?
Well, it was thrilling to walk in the Oval Office. I got goosebumps because I felt like we ought to have a meeting. You know, we got to decide something.
Well, all museum visitors may go into that Oval Office replica. You can actually sit down and take pictures, and you can actually also touch the steel beams that came from the World Trade Center inside. Karen Hughes is also working with the Bush Institute here, which is a part of this presidential center. It's the public policy part. And she told us that she's really having a good time having the opportunity to work in that policy institute about the issues that she cares deeply about. In her case, it's women's empowerment. Now, a little bit later, we have a special interview with NBC's Matt Lauer from the Today Show. He has an exclusive interview and tour of this museum live this morning coming up on NBC's Today Show. We'll bring you that interview a little bit later this morning. Guys, back to you.
Hey, Leslie, I want to talk a little bit about your tour because I'm wondering, is there anything that specifically kind of just really stood out to you?
Sally, there are so many things. This is really an amazing museum, but I have to say, when you walk into the museum, you see a display of all of the domestic policy issues that President Bush was working on at the beginning of his presidency, things that he ran for president on, issues, education reform, and economic issues. And then you turn a corner, and all of a sudden you're struck by these 2 huge steel beams from the World Trade Center, really symbolizing how much the entire nation was just shocked, as well as his administration, and how the focus of his administration had to take a drastic turn at that point.
All right, Leslie Rohde live in Dallas. Thank you for that. We'll see you back here in a bit.
Our national security has changed as a result, and security will be tight there. The Bush Center will open to the public on May 1st. Right now, there are 15 presidential libraries or museums across the country, and Texas has 3 of them. The LBJ Library, of course, here in Austin, the George H.W. Bush Library in College Station, and the new one in Dallas. Already, there are plans to bring in tourists with special tour packages covering all 3 libraries. You can check out our website. We have pictures of several of the new exhibits there on the SMU campus. That's where you can also watch the live stream of the dedication at 10 o'clock this morning.